Okay, lovely. So let's just check in with that earth for a second with our feet. If we can't touch the floor, maybe we can see the floor. Maybe we can look out the window and see some grass or some sort of earth connection thing that we can grab onto with this. Awesome. We're going to do 3 breaths, releasing the shoulders, but we're going to build up. So we're going to do a mini release, then like a medium release, and then like a bigger release. But it doesn't have to be bringing the shoulders up. It can just be letting that tension go, bringing a bit of tension and letting it go. So I'm going to do 3 breaths, letting go a bit of tension on the exhale. So we're building up. We're not going for our biggest one just yet. 2 more. Last one. Lovely. Can we now maybe soften the jaw a little? Released a bit of tension from the face, the forehead. And then can we bring all our attention to the top of the head? So it doesn't have to be a specific point. It could just be like the whole bit of the head. Can we just send our intention to that space? So can we notice the hair? Maybe the skin of the scalp, or maybe like me, you've got a hairband round or something in the hair that you can notice for a moment. Anything to draw that attention upwards. Could we now maybe let that space expand to the whole top of the head, maybe all the way down to the ears? And do you think we can maybe just lift that space a little bit higher? I mean, you saw how much I moved. A very imaginative lift. Doesn't have to go too much higher. We're just drawing that space, expanding it outwards. Lovely. So we've got the hands at the sides of the body here, only if that's comfortable. Let's check the knees are not locked. If we're standing, can we have a little bit of a squidge into those? Don't want to overextend. Okay. Bring the hands to the front of the body. I'm just going to notice the hands at the start here, the palm, the fingers, the thumb, back of the hand. And when we've sent a bit of intention that way, we're going to very gently draw the fingertips, the hands up. So this can be very gentle and light. Doesn't even have to go as high as me. And then let that sink back down. Lovely. Still thinking about those hands, but let everything soften in the middle there. Okay, we're going to draw up again. This time we're just noticing that air, that atmosphere, that space going to travel between the fingers, around the skin of the arms. Maybe it feels colder now. Maybe we notice a bit of a breeze. And then very slowly sink back down, keeping that awareness. Lovely, that's really slow, really controlled. Excellent, well done. Have a little soften there. And then we're going to go for one more. But this time we're going to be traveling through a little bit of a cloudy substance. So still that space, that atmosphere. It's got a little bit of something more to it, maybe like white wispy clouds. They could be pink clouds, any colour you like. Just a little bit of a change in the atmosphere there, whatever we're picking up on the skin. I'm sorry, I've just got to let someone in. Okay. And then just have a little rest, a little notice. Maybe some things are coming up, some strong sensations. So just let that settle. Hi, Carol. We've just started just doing some gentle movement. We're doing just focusing on mindfulness stuff today. And we're taking it easy because we're all at quite depleted energy levels.
I spent 10 minutes on the link trying to get in, but it wouldn't open, so I do apologise.
Oh, that's okay. But you can hear us and see us and you're with us
Yeah,
now. Okay, excellent, excellent.
my link didn't work, sorry.
Okay, so we're going to let the hands come back to the sides of the body, check in with those fingers again. So we're sending the intention into the hands again. Lovely. And then we're going to let the hands draw up at the sides of the body. So first of all, we're just going to go with our gentle movement, raising the hands, arms and elbows, everything's going to follow. Most of the intentions on the fingers and the hands, and then let that guide back down. Lovely. Super slow, amazing, well done. Everything soften. And then we'll go for one more. This time, just feeling that air move between the fingers as you travel up. Is there any sensations on the skin of cold air, the atmosphere? And then let that sink back down. Let a bit of tension go. Lovely. Let things soften. Check you're not locking up on the knees or anything. Okay, so we're going to go for one more. This time we're moving through that cloudy substance. So we can feel like there's a little bit of resistance as we go up, but it's not harder. It's not harder work. It's just more noticeable. Could be that same wispy white clouds, pink clouds, lovely sunset clouds. And then moving back down through that same space, a little bit thicker, a little bit more noticeable. Maybe it makes the arms feel quite heavy, tingly, let everything soften. And then you can have a little move around, a little step or twist or anything that needs to move. Okay. Excellent. And then if you're standing up and you want to sit down now, I'm going to sit down. So you don't need me to tell you what to do, but I'm just letting you know that I've had enough of standing up at the moment. So this bit we can absolutely do seated. Now I've got a little bit of space between my knees, but this isn't a huge movement, so that's optional. I normally get you to have a little bit more space between the knees here to really help with like stability. We're not going to be really moving much at all, so have them wherever's comfortable. Sorry, was anyone trying to get my attention then? I heard a bit of noise. Okay, so hands again down at the sides of the body. And this is a movement with just the hands, and we're going to guide with the thumbs here. So I've got them down the sides of the body, enough space that I can open the palms. So I'm going to let the thumbs guide a movement where I turn the hands to face the front. Very slow, very controlled. And then draw thumbs back in towards the body. Lovely. So we're going to go for two more nicely soft openings. But this time we're moving the hands through a thicker golden substance. The proper one is treacle, moving hands in treacle. But I don't know, I feel like treacle is like maybe a bit too thick of a substance. So maybe like honey, like nice warm honey. We don't want too much resistance. We're at limited capabilities, something that we can nicely get a little bit of warmth from, a little bit of squishy support. but we're noticing we're moving our hands through this substance. One more. Open out. And draw back in. Let some tension go. Have a move of the fingers or the wrists. I know we're hardly moving at all, but this can still bring up quite a lot of stuff. When I did this before, I had a pain in my hand, like I can move through it, but you know, these things, even from very small movements, things can show up. Okay, so now we're just going to move the neck. So you can rest the hands on the lap if you like, the chest, the tummy, wherever's kind of easiest for you to let a little bit of tension off the shoulders, maybe. So we're going to be turning the neck over to the shoulder. We don't need to add the breath, but if you know the breath, it's an inhale over there, a drawing in and exhale as we come back. So we're just going to go for 2 on each side of taking the neck, the chin, the nose, a little bit over towards the shoulder. Just noticing the neck moving as we come back to center. And then we can take it over the other side. Maybe we're noticing the skin moving on a t-shirt. Maybe we're noticing a pull in the chest or the jaw. Maybe it's our hair swishing and tickling our shoulder or our back as we move. And drawing it back to center when you're done and releasing out however you want with the neck there. Maybe you've got a go-to neck movement. Go there. I'm going to go for a bit of side openings, just very gentle ones. Have a little feel. I always get these tiny little noises when I move my neck, like loads of tiny little crunches or clicks. Definitely not like my other noises I get. Very like tiny, tiny ones. I'm not sure what it is. Some stuff releasing. Okay, so if you're feeling okay, have a little wiggle of the shoulders. We're going to go for a couple more opens with the neck. We're going to do the hands and the neck at the same time. So the hands are going to come at the side of the body. And I'm going to go for this turn of the thumbs as I take the head over towards the shoulder. So we're just going to go a couple of times on each side, thinking about both those areas moving, releasing, opening. And when you're done, just releasing out however's good for you. Might be a little shoulder movement, might be a little walk around. Okay, let me see how I'm doing for time. Excellent. So we're going to do just a little bit of noticing of the tummy and the ribs now. We're going to do a tiny bit of belly breath. Then we're going to do a little bit more of a rib cage breath. And then we'll just let everything sink down and we'll see how we're doing then. So I'm going to be going in through my nose with my inhales. I'm going to be expanding the belly and then that Air is going to rise up through the chest, and I'm going to slowly release through parted lips. So we're just kind of restricting that, making those exhales a little bit longer. You can have your hands wherever you like, wherever you can relax into. You can close your eyes. I'll give you plenty of warning before we come out of it. Just a bit of noticeable breath. Three more belly breaths. And let the belly be soft when you get to the end of that round. Then we're just going to move this breath up into the chest a bit more. So we're going to be going for like a 360 kind of opening this whole space, but we're going to do it in 3 stages. So we're going to do a mini open and expand, then a slightly more medium one, and then a larger one. But this doesn't have to be pushing it to your limits larger. We're just going to try and increase that slowly. So inhale through the nose and expanding in a 360 through the ribs and the chest there. This can be quite challenging. I always go in with a big one. Lovely. And then just have a little check-in. Is there anything you need to move or listen to? Okay, so how are you doing, guys? Are you all right? So I've got an activity for you today. I'm just turning my camera. Sorry, you've got my face at a really weird angle. Okay, so we've got a mindfulness activity because that is the theme of today. So I've got a little treasure hunt for you. Now we could extend this into like a 10-minute activity, or if you want to do it in 5, we can. So if it's a 10-minute activity, the first 5 minutes is making a nice herbal tea or a hot chocolate or something. If you don't want to grab a hot drink, fine. Grab a piece of fruit maybe, something like that. And if you want both, absolutely go for it. So that's the first one. We'll then have 4 things to find. So don't worry, you'll have plenty of time for this. There's no rush. You just have like the first 5 minutes, you could just make your tea. And then if you can't wait to get on with the activities, you can go straight to that. But I'll give you plenty of time. So 4 things you've got to find. I need you to find something that's interesting to look at. Something that can make a noise. Something that's got an interesting texture. And something, some kind of smell. And that could be the piece of fruit or the tea. Okay, so it's 5 things if we get really into the activity. A couple of extra things if you just managed to make a drink and grab a bit of fruit. So I'm going to pop it in the chat as well. And I'll say it one more time also. If I can find my lesson plan. Here we go. Step 2. So step 1 is putting the kettle on and making a hot chocolate or a herbal tea and or grabbing a piece of fruit. Step two is finding the additional treasure hunt items. So we've got something interesting to look at, something with a sound or that can make a sound, something with an interesting texture, and something with a smell. I've put smells nice, but it could just be something. I just don't want you to trigger anything unpleasant. Like you'll know if it's something that you're willing to sit and smell. Okay, so you've got like 10 minutes. There really is no rush. We'll just do a little activity with these items. It's kind of like a treasure hunt, show and tell, mindfulness, all rolled into one. So just take your time. And if anyone can't get up and move around, I will help you. I'll stay around and I will show you my items and we can share. Hello, lovely. Oh, do you want to be my show and tell? Oh, you're back, Ellie. Have you got all your items?
Just second guessing one of them.
Okay, there's one of my things I've got two for as well. So
Right. I mean, it's like, does it have to be interesting to other people or does it just have to be interesting to me to look at?
oh, it's just for you.
Perfect. That's fine. I don't need
Yeah,
to move anywhere then.
yeah. But I'm super interested into what all of these things are now.
My pretty thing has just run off. Cat's gone out the
Ah,
window.
ah,
Do you have a photo of her or him?
Yes, I do actually.
yeah,
Yeah, good plan.
such a good idea. Awesome idea. So, did you have any fun activities at the hen do? Was it some like games or?
We painted pottery. So we were painted
Oh,
spoon rests, which was really fun.
oh, I like that.
And also really good because everyone, we were like, does anyone actually have a spoon rest at home? And everyone went, no. Really
No,
helpful.
so that was really useful. Oh yeah, I love a useful activity.
Yeah, we had
Mm,
afternoon tea and then we junk modelled because we're all either
junk.
teachers or early years practitioners.
Okay.
We got all the recycling out and junk modelled some table centerpieces, highest
Oh,
and most flamboyant one.
okay. Oh wow, that sounds so interesting.
Yeah, I mean, so family conservative Christian. So basically, like, not going to be anything too
crazy.
Our
Bring it
Hindu
in.
was from 2 till 6.
Wow, wild. I mean, I'm down with that kind of timing, to be fair. That
Me
sounds
too.
ideal.
Exactly. I'm like, this is so much better than you have to pay to go and spend 5 days in Malaga or something stupid.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I haven't, yeah, I think maybe everyone I know is probably married now because I haven't had to have any turning down awkwardly of invites. But
Yes.
yeah, I did go to a wedding recently though, and that was okay. It was just so long. They are so long, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Like, we didn't even go for the whole day. We were just there from 4 till like 9, but it seemed like the longest time ever. I
Yeah.
was uncomfortable and cold, and it was noisy. I
So
had my loops in. I was like, oh, this is not fun.
hilariously, my friend's brother got married. So the one that Hendy was yesterday, her brother got married in April. And his wife is from Northern Ireland, like rural Northern Ireland. So there's a tradition there that your wedding has a 3 hour break in the middle of it because everyone's farmers and they've all got to go home and deal with the animals. And I was like,
Oh,
I love this idea. It's like
yeah,
wedding with nap time built in. I
yeah.
will steal it.
Yeah, I'd be down for that. I could
Very
probably carry
young.
on though, and my boyfriend was like, "Oh, we'll just go," and I was like, "I'm not just because I'm sitting down doesn't mean that I'm waiting for my second wave. I'm like hoping I've danced a lot, so I did have a nice time. I did do dancing and stuff like that. But I need to go and sit down and have quiet time and
Oh
stuff.
yeah, yeah.
Other people like think you're fed up or whatever. It's not
Let's
that.
see
I'm
how long
happy.
out. Can't decide
I'm
what
happy
to
just sitting on my
do. Come
phone and
on.
having a little drink on my own. Like I
I'm
don't need
loving it. I
entertaining.
just my body needs a bit of a ooh moment.
Mm. Yeah, nervous system, little reset.
Yeah.
Okay, we're starting to get some
Okay.
back in.
Really back.
So my last group, we only had a couple more people, but it was really interesting because we had loads of snaps, our items. It was really weird. A lady held up this really specific like frame with like glass and then like some oil that like moved around. So it was excellent for looking at a mindfulness thing. And it seemed so specific. I've never seen it before. It was really interesting. And then another lady held up the same thing and I was like, whoa, I've never even seen this. Now I want one. It's like subliminal messaging. Oh no. Okay. Carol, so can you hear me? You can't hear me. Okay. Do you want to leave and come back? I'll put it in the chat. Um, so Ellie, you were the first. You were in that cupboard before I'd finished talking, so you must have been thinking about what you wanted to get in your treasure hunt quite quickly. Oh, it was off the fridge, was it?
Mm-hmm.
Ah, okay, yeah. I've also got strawberries, so that's the first snap. That's what I forgot to get out. So yeah, I've got a lovely big pack of strawberries. I'm going to bring the biggest one over. Ah, beautiful. And you guys, did you get drink? Is that a raspberry?
Strawberry as well.
It's a strawberry as well. It's just a little baby one.
Oh yeah, I got it from my garden, so that's why this one's quite small. And
It's quite big for a garden one,
oh,
though.
this one's
That's so cool.
Wow.
yeah, so I quickly just popped out.
Did you go and get it just now from outside? Okay.
You
Did
win.
anyone else go outside to get an item?
I thought it was a perfect excuse to go out there and have one already.
I'm so happy that you did that because I didn't say, but yeah, the last group I was like, even go out in the garden and grab something. So wicked, well done. So we got 3 strawberries. Anyone else got a strawberry? It wasn't a game for matching, but it seems to have turned into. I've also got a herbal tea. I've got the pucker nighttime one. I I'm obsessed. I sleep so much better with these. So this is the bedtime one. It's got lavender in, which I would never pick to have in a drink, but you can't taste it. Valerian, and something flower, like it just tastes delicious though. It's not, you wouldn't think it would be a nice tasting thing, but it tastes really nice, and I sleep really soundly with it as well. Just for like a cup of tea, it seems to be like a little bit magical. So I thought I'd go for that now because you're my last group for the day, and all I've got to do is make my son some dinner and then I can go to sleep and catch up on that sleep. So does anyone want to give me a show and tell of their treasure hunt while I eat my strawberry?
I have my tea in a very nice cup. I don't know whether you can see it.
Ooh,
Mm.
Oh, that's the 10 minutes on. That was in case I got lost because it's a long.
Did you think you'd get distracted?
Well, my kitchen's, I'm like on the 4th floor of my kitchen's, so it's quite a long way to go, and it's like need to know when to
Oh,
go.
sorry.
That's right. So I have peppermint tea, and yeah, so it's got lots of like circles and spirals and things.
So
So
cool.
I like that. But I
Kind
also,
of like mandala-y.
yeah, I brought my spider plant. I've got a baby spider plant. I'm trying to grow it. It changed, and the reason it's interesting to look at is because it changed color after it came off the plant.
Oh,
It's gone a really sort of like white and green, sort of like much sort of, well, it's hard to describe, but it isn't the lovely bright green that it was, but it seemed fine. And apparently they can change color. That you can have like the babies and everything can be a different color than the parent.
oh, like a genetic thing.
Yeah.
It's got different.
Yeah.
Because I know some plants can change in the soil they're in.
Yeah, I
So
wonder whether it might be the soil as well.
I love hydrangea, but they're very influenced by the type of nitrates in the soil, and that's how you
Right.
get the different colours.
Oh yeah, that was a quiz question. So,
Oh,
and
was it?
my
I
last,
love a quiz, so that's yeah. A
I have,
squishamella is a proper one, isn't it?
I think so, yes.
Oh.
But it's just like my husband's like, why have you brought that? And I went, well, because I can sit when I'm supposed to be working and I can just sort of like squish this. And because it's got ears and a tail, you can sort of swing it. He says it's mean to swing it by its tail, but actually, I don't know. Yeah. And that was by my desk, so I didn't have to go very far. But
Perfect. Yeah, we had a little squishamallow come up in the last group as well, and a recommendation for something I'm going to look up. So it was a tentacle kitty. Has anyone heard of tentacle kitty? Okay, so they're like, hi Carol, can you hear us?
Can now, thank
Oh,
you.
excellent, excellent. We've just, shown a couple of items. We're just talking about squishamallows, the teddies. Could you just show
Oh,
your teddy again, Joe, quickly for Carol? Oh, snap, snap. What's yours called, Carol? Has it got a name?
this is Mitzi because it's the same as my grey cat.
Aw, cute. So yeah, the squishamallows, I think they're just, perfect for propping up. Like the big ones go in between knees when you're asleep, and you can take them in the car and use them for little neck support. So yeah, big fan of those. But this tentacle kitty, so it's a little handheld squishy teddy with tentacles that are like sensory as well, and you can get different weighted teddies from them as well. So they've got a whole interesting set of things going on. I might look them up and see if I can grab a few for my classes people can hold. Is any of yours weighted, Carol, or is it just squishy?
No, it's just a squishy one. I've got one about 3 times the size of this, a black one, a great big long one, which is brilliant for putting under your knees and sleeping with.
Where did you get yours from?
These are all from Amazon.
Yeah, I think they're the ones I've seen, so that's good to hear from you that they're good.
They're quite sensory because I like the softness of it. It's something nice to, sort of stroke and that. And,
Yeah, you got your texture definitely with that one. Yeah, velvety and squishy and
find that quite soothing.
awesome. Did anyone bring a noisy item for us?
Oh, no, I forgot the noisy
Yes,
one.
Sarah. Ooh, My singing bowl.
Singing bowl, which I got not too long ago. So I was like, put that into my morning routine.
Nice. Do you sort of do a little bit of meditation with it, or is it just a noticing thing?
At the moment, noticing, I still struggle at times with meditation. I find I'm better with like meditation where I'm moving and walking
Mm-hmm.
rather than standing kind of still or sitting still. But yeah, I know that's more for like noticing, bringing my attention back.
Yeah, that's awesome. Great first steps, or just even on its own, it's grounding. You're bringing yourself into the moment. You're not trying to force things out. And I think when you get into like a staying still meditation, you think you've got to like force stuff to not happen. But we're not, we're just drawing our attention to something else. We're not trying to say pain stop, any like thoughts go away. We don't have to worry about that. We're just bringing it to where we want to go with a nice thing. So any more noisy things?
Only usual wind chimes. I've got one that sounds better in my bedroom, but I like the sound of wind chimes. That's quite a nice sort of tinkling sound. The one in my bedroom is a bit more tuneful than that. That's a bit twangy, but if I climb up there, I'll end up probably breaking some.
Yeah, you don't have to go to two extremes with this, Trisha. I know I'm competitive, but no ladders.
I couldn't remember I couldn't remember what I needed because, you know, ADHD brain can only remember like one thing in the list.
It was a big list. I'm not going to lie. It was quite a long list.
I've got lots of like wind chimes, lots of sun catchers. So they're all sort of like, they make noise when they swing around. It's quite pretty.
Nice. Awesome. Did anyone bring anything that smelt nice other than their tea or strawberry?
Total de-stress, the tisserand, you know, the pulse points, that smells really nice. And it also relaxes as well.
Bingo.
You can't
Mindfulness bingo.
I think all of these, no matter what they're for, they smell wonderful. So.
Yeah, they do. I had some little essential oil things that my friend gave me. There was ylang ylang and patchouli, and they both smelled hot. I wasn't keen on either of them really, so I ended up going for the little. Mine's a Neil's Yard one, all their stuff. It's quite expensive, but it all smells delightful, and I don't seem to be allergic to any of it, which is quite incredible as it goes. Yeah. Lovely. So yeah, this is kind of like a sensory mindfulness thing. If you've got something that feels nice or you want to look at.
Can we see the picture of Beth's cat?
Beth, can you show us your cat somehow?
No, I think you could all get too jealous. No. She's fine.
They don't want to come back and join us then.
No,
they're out doing cat things now.
Okay, can you describe the cat for us then, Beth?
I've got a ginger tuxedo boy, and then I've got a big fat tiger girl who's like brown and has brown stripes.
Wow.
He's really cute. She is quite fat though, but we're working on it, so it's okay.
Oh,
I love that.
is she just a little lazy, or is she going to eat at someone else's house?
Probably.
Yeah.
I think she has little visits that she goes on.
If they're super cute, there's multiple people who are like,
yeah.
Cute.
But the ginger one, he's really handsome. He is a good-looking boy.
My neighbour's cats try to convince us they haven't been fed, so they get fed again. But everybody don't feed them.
You lie, don't you, Lolly?
I heard a little while ago my neighbour telling off his teenage daughter for feeding my cat. He was like, "No, we're not feeding that cat anymore." It must have been going around there and she was feeding it.
Yeah.
He's obviously got fed up because the cat obviously keeps going around now.
There's a children's storybook called Six Dinner Sid, which is about a cat
Oh,
who
I think I've heard of that.
goes to all the houses on the street and gets dinner, and he ends up being really fat. And so they have to have a street-wide meeting about on Monday, this family feeds Sid, and on Tuesday, this family feeds Sid, and on Wednesday, this family feeds Sid.
Oh, lovely.
It's a really
Nice.
cute story.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. Yeah, I'm sure I've heard of that one. The name sounds familiar, but I can't think this about the story. So I'll see if I can get that in the library with Tigs in the week. Okay, so one more minute, if you've got it, to just have a little notice of one of your items. Just be 1 minute. We'll just be quiet, have a little feel, a little look. That's it. I'm gonna go for my little fidget toy. Just notice. That's all we're doing. Just bringing our attention somewhere else. Then you can just have a little check in with yourself. Just see how you feel now. Maybe compare it to how we started. Anything showing up for anyone that they wanted to chat about before we go? Let's just do a little close down. So I'm just going to scoop with a breath in towards the forehead and bring it down my center and land on my belly. So I'm going to scoop up and bring it down. Rest hands on the belly, let everything soften. Nice smile, inner smile and outer smile. Bring it all together. Thank you so much for our show and tell, bingo, treasure hunt, all the mindfulness fun. Thank you very much.
Tara.
Thank
Have a lovely evening. I hope you
You
all
too.
sleep well.